Okay, well, thanks for sticking around for the whole series of videos. Last but not least, we're going to talk for a moment or two about debts that won't be discharged in most bankruptcy proceedings. Remember that the purpose of filing a bankruptcy is to receive a discharge from the court that tells creditors that they can no longer try to collect debt from you. Now, bankruptcy is intended to allow honest debtors to get a fresh start. That's the public policy. But there are public policies that are more important than debtors getting a fresh start. Children are entitled to child support. Spouses are entitled to spousal maintenance. We don't want to encourage bad behavior. So there's certain things that aren't dischargeable. Well, I'll go through the list. We can't discharge debts for fraud, embezzlement, willful injury, or malicious injuries. We cannot discharge debts for DUI obligations, criminal restitution, like I discussed before, child support and alimony payments, not dischargeable. We can't discharge most student loans and most taxes. But these aren't the things that come up in the vast majority of the cases. What potentially could come up is your creditor, usually a credit card company, could come in and ask the court to deem that your debt is non-dischargeable because you've done something improper. You misled them on your credit application. You loaded up on credit after you already knew you couldn't afford to pay everybody that you owed money to. Or you charged a lot of things on credit shortly before filing for bankruptcy. It's important before you make any major moves in your case. It's important before you transfer any assets. It's important before you speak to any creditors or respond to a lawsuit that you get good, competent legal advice from an experienced consumer bankruptcy attorney. I'd like to be that attorney if I could. I'm not bragging. I'm asking you to consider me over all the other alternatives and options that you have, but I would please beg you, don't hire a high volume firm. They advertise a lot. They look at turning cases over as quickly as they can. They don't put the time and the care and the craftsmanship into their cases. I'm not going to name any firms, but you know who they are in the Phoenix area. They have a high volume practice. Be careful not to become a victim of that type of representation. I will meet with you personally. I have a paralegal that will be assigned to you personally until we get your case filed and until we understand your case in intricate detail. You will only be dealing with myself and Kylie. And I hope that it gives you some sense of security to know that you're not going to be bumping around from attorney to attorney or paralegal to paralegal. And mostly, you won't be spending all your time with a paralegal and never really getting a chance to speak with an attorney. Bankruptcy can be complex. Bankruptcy is something you want to be very careful about who you hire. You want to be very careful about agreements that you make with that organization. And you also want to be very careful that you're not hiring someone that's too busy to help make your case be as good as it can be. I look forward to meeting you in my office. Give us a call as soon as you can. My phone number is 480-820-3600. Ask for me if I'm not immediately available. Ask to speak with Kylie and she'll make sure we get together.